morning, students, and today we are going to talk about gene editing and designer babies. Today, humans are able to manipulate the genome of any living thing to eradicate any defects in the object and also to improve already beneficial traits in the organism. Such examples of this gene editing can be seen in multiple products such as seedless watermelons or seedless grapes or even to strawberries. In such cases, gene editing has been used to improve the quality of the product, and the earliest type of manipulating the genome is selective breeding, which humans choose an animal that has a beneficial trait already and breed it with another animal that has a different beneficial trait to make a super animal or product. The technology that we have today can be used to edit the human genome. But should we do it? Is it morally ethical? Politicians and science institutions alike are asking if people should be allowed to modify a human genome. And with the introduction of IVF, in vitro fertilization, and test tube babies, most people think it should be allowed. People have the choice to have a Build-A-Bear baby, where they add genomes to fetuses' genetic information, improving anything from just aesthetic looks like hair, eye color, or how tall you are, to other more physical characteristics like strength and hugeness, and possibly even intelligence sooner or later. Just 40 years prior, the first test tube baby was born under the name of Louis Brown. Genetic research has been revolutionized in just one lifetime. In 2012, the field of genetic engineering has been changed with the invention of CRISPR-Cas9, which uses natural enzymes to target and cut away mutant genes or any genes that are unwanted in the DNA, which helps remove mutant genes that may cause genetic diseases like cystic fibrosis. CRISPR has also been used to modify genes of non-viable embryos with moderate success. As recent as July 2018, government bodies have been legalizing the use of genetic modification. One such case is the legalizing of gene editing by the Nuffield Council of Bioethics in England. If it is in the child's best interest and doesn't add any inequalities that already divides today's society. Many religious people believe that designer babies as a technology is going too far. There are many statistics that show that highly religious people believe that it has gone too far already, with less religious people believing that genetic modification is acceptable. Christianity teaches that we are made in God's images and that all human life has great worth from the moment of conception until natural death. Gene editing would mean that we are playing God, the worst affront to nature's practices and also to God himself. Jesus spent most of his time on curing the ill and the misfortune, not forgetting about them or even removing them from existence, which design babies will do, eliminate people with disabilities. While Buddhists believe that it is fine as long as it improves the health of the person, and since Buddhists believe that they will have an afterlife, it will still further their soul. Jews as well believe that it is acceptable, but however, since the recent past, because of the Holocaust, they were experimented for eugenics since they were not part of the Übermensch, as Hitler said. Here are some statistics. 72% of Americans believe that gene editing is good to cure serious diseases that occur at birth is ethically permissible, while 57% of the highly religious, meaning those people who go to church once a week at least, prays daily, and says religion is important in their lives, also agree, with about 57% of them agreeing. Meanwhile, 60% of Americans believe gene editing to remove the chance of diseases that may occur in later life, like cancer, obesity, diabetes. It says it's ethically permissible, while below 50% of the highly religious believe this. 80% of Americans and 94% of the highly religious people believe that medical science has gone too far if we can manipulate a baby's intelligence and characteristics like strength and appearances. And now to my co-associate who will talk more about the science behind genetic engineering, Dante Spina.
Thank you, Carol, for your segment. I'll be talking about the issues with design of babies, the pros with it, my personal opinion, and then concluding with a general statement of what I think about design of babies. So with my first one, the extreme outcome of this is that we have all babies being selected. On one hand, and potentially true, is if the design of babies go too far, we'd have like a dystopian world almost. That's a bit of a stretch, but like we'd have a world where babies are chosen instead of like being part of nature. Instead of, you know, having a natural thing, babies are like every aspect of them is chosen, and you know, you want to eradicate things from the baby, you want to change things, you want them to have blue hair, blonde, blue eyes, blonde hair. I know you want them to be tall, you want them to be smart, you want them to be athletic. And if this happens, we're going to have a lot of artificial babies, a lot of babies that are just all the same, all designed, all hand-picked, not natural like it should be. In this hypothetical society, the people who do not have these traits, so you know, your parents can't afford you being tall or athletic, you're just gonna get picked on. Oh, you're a small kid. That sucks for you. You're gonna get bullied. You're probably gonna get bullied or picked on for it. And it's just gonna be having from a bunch of people who are just similar. Society's just gonna become dull in a sense where creativity is not really a thing because everyone's the same. Everyone thinks the same. And in most dystopian literature and art, this dystopia is a world where everyone thinks the same, like in 1984 where everyone does the same thing, they do the same thing, and if you're different you get arrested. And this is kind of sounding similar to this world where everyone is the same because they're chosen. There are many pros with design of babies. The most obvious pro of design of babies, or gene editing in general, is that genetic diseases can become a thing of the past or would be eradicated completely due to gene editing. Things like blindness, deafness, dwarfism, Down syndrome, Alzheimer's, spinal muscular atrophy, these kind of things no longer can exist in a world with gene editing, as well as diseases like obesity, diabetes, anemia, cancer and more. The kind of diseases like when you hear the young children having to get both their arms amputated because of a rare genetic disease, all these things will be a thing of the past. I think everyone would love a world without diseases and disabilities. This means everyone will be living longer, happier lives without the fear or burden of things like cancer or Down syndrome. 44,000 people died from cancer in 2013, which is still a while ago, so this number's probably risen since then. And if gene editing can save at least half these people from cancer, that's over 22,000 families saved from grief and suffering. Most people don't someone who've gotten or died from cancer. This will be a huge relief for everybody. This is where gene editing will work, and it will work extremely well. I think the general public will want, everyone in the general public will want to stop their loved ones and people they know dying early, and for disease that don't kill you, like, I don't know, dwarfism, blindness, deafness, those kind of things make life much harder for you. So I think everyone will want a change in this. The chance of having a child with Down syndrome is anywhere between 1 in 30 and 1 in 1,667. This is depending on the age of the mother. So younger mothers have a much lower chance of having a baby with Down syndrome. It would be much better if this chance was just completely zero. This is why gene editing can be extremely useful, but then, as we acknowledged previously, that there are issues with designer babies, problems that can be avoided if we do not allow gene editing to become too powerful. There's a line that has to be drawn to decipher what is too far and what is acceptable. Personally, I think gene editing can cross the line at times and should be limited to genetic diseases and things which are necessary. So, unless it's like dwarfism, I don't think you should be able to change the height of your baby, or things like athletic. You shouldn't be able to change the certain things that make up that the genes that change that in the baby. I think it should be dispute with diseases, disabilities, those kind of things. This discovery is very important for a reason, as we've already talked about. It is a great discovery to cure potential curing genetic diseases, and it is a huge breakthrough for any of these diseases that can be stopped before birth.
Now to conclude this segment. In our opinion, designer babies are good for eliminating genetic diseases, but it is possibly too far when we are messing with the appearance of a baby. Designer babies should only be used to eliminate genetic diseases like cystic fibrosis and other diseases like Down syndrome, and should, under any circumstance, not be used to enhance a person's appearance, physical or mental capacity. My opinion on this subject is that this technology is beneficial in eradicating potentially harmful diseases that affect the lives of millions of people around the world today. But we should be careful about the issue of genetic modification, because someday somebody will want to genetically enhance kids, and there might be discrimination against people and who don't have the right qualities and will be frowned upon in our society. Eventually, parents will only view their children as consumer products, not as priceless gifts that they should always love. And these children could be used to rank one's social status. Gene editing could lead to the discrimination of those who have undesirable traits, and we could be creating new super children, the Ubermensch.